Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your day and your week are going well so far. We got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. We've got more round 2 NBA playoff action continuing tonight with a 2-game slate. We've got Pacers-Knicks game 5, Nuggets-Timberwolves game 5, and a good amount of props that I'm very excited to hand out to you guys. But first, as always, people, make sure hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers here on the channel. So if you haven't joined the Guy Boston Sports community already, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do us all a big favor and hit that button down below. We really do appreciate all of the support. And guys, make sure to stick around to the end of today's video for a very important announcement. That's all I'm going to tease. Just stick around. Most of you are probably just going to fast forward to the end, but for those who do actually watch the whole video, stick around to the end. I appreciate you guys. But yeah, at the end of today's video, there will be an important announcement. But as for the agenda today, I'm going to run it back what I did yesterday, which is bet 2 same-game parlays for both games. So yesterday, recap of yesterday, we had 2 same-game parlays for Celtics-Cavs game 4 and for Thunder-Mavs game 4. So same thing today. I have a 3-leg parlay for Knicks-Pacers and a 3-leg parlay for Nuggets-Timberwolves. And speaking of yesterday, we had a 2-leg parlay in that Mavs-Thunder game. Kyrie Irving cashed his bet with flying colors. Daniel Gafford, not so much, over 10.5 points plus assists. He finished with exactly 10 points, so he just barely missed hitting that parlay there. In hindsight, his points plus rebounds probably would have been the better play, but what are you going to do? Hindsight's always 20/20 when it comes to this stuff. The other parlay, though, originally a 4-leg parlay. Donovan Mitchell doesn't play, so it downgrades it to a 3-leg parlay, but still, regardless of that, we do hit it, plus 256 odds. So we do hit a parlay. We did cash a parlay yesterday. And whenever we cash a parlay here on this video series, you know what that means. We got to go ahead and break out the money gun. Losing the second parlay definitely mitigates it a little bit. The celebration would have had today if both parlays hit would have been very nice. I think the other one's like plus 3 something, so it would have been a big cash day, but it's okay. We still made profit. If you bet both parlays yesterday, if you rode with me yesterday, we still were profitable on yesterday's video. Out of the 5 props that were handed out, 4 of them cashed. So overall, a really good money-making day for us here. My room looks like a damn strip club right now. There's $100 bills literally everywhere. But guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into today's video. Again, 2 parlays coming right at you. All right, guys, let's jump into the Outlier screen here. Outlier, the best sports betting tool in the market and the best sponsor of our channel. There's a special link in our description down below. You get a 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. If you watch all my videos, you watch today's video or any of my other NBA player prop videos here on the channel, you'll know how great Outlier truly is. Fantastic sports betting tool. You will not regret your investment. And the best part is, it's only 7 days. You try it for 7 days for free, and then you invest. So you're not even really investing anything quite yet. You try it out for 7 days. If you don't like it, you can go ahead and cancel. But I guarantee you guys, satisfaction guaranteed with Outliers. Here you go. First leg of our 3-leg parlay for this Knicks-Pacers game. 8 p.m. tip-off. We're going Andrew Nembhard over 3.5 assists. And yes, we are using alternate lines in these parlays, but we're not going too crazy. I think the highest line I have is like minus 190. We're not doing anything too crazy. There's no minus 250s or minus 300s or anything like that. All of the odds are below 200, so not bad. This one is minus 175 here on DraftKings, over 3.5 assists. You see he's cashed this in 8 consecutive games. All of these, of course, being playoff games dating back to the Milwaukee series, going all the way through the Knicks series so far. If you look at the 2023 so far for Andrew Nembhard, a 59% hit rate, 46 out of 78 games this year. He has cashed this over of 3.5 assists, averaging 4.19 assists per game. But the most important statistic that I can share with you guys here is the head-to-head data. He has cashed this in 10 consecutive games versus the New York Knicks, dating back to January of last season, including all 4 games of this series so far, including all 6 games that he has played against the Knicks this year. From December this year all the way through the playoffs, he's cashed it every time. He's averaging 5.18 assists per game versus the Knicks. Again, all 4 games of this series. He's cashed the last 2 games in particular. His assist number's been a little bit higher. So really solid data here, 91% hit rate versus the Knicks, dating back to December of 2022. If you look at the right side of the screen, the data kind of makes sense here. The Knicks are this year middle of the road in assists allowed, giving up 6 assists per game to opposing shooting guards. So pretty solid spot here for Andrew Nembhard, who obviously in the playoffs, his minutes have been pretty high. Let's look at the last 5 games. Most of these, of course, being in the Knicks series. And you see he's averaging 29 minutes per game. Obviously, a little bit less in Game 4 because it's a blowout, so he only played 21 minutes. But you see here, pretty consistently so far in this Knicks series, he's playing in the range of like 27 to 30 minutes per game. All right, guys, moving on. The second leg of this 3-leg parlay, we're going Aaron Nesmith of the Pacers over 14.5 points plus rebounds. He's been a great, by the way, Celtics, great pick, honestly, at the end of the day. Part of the Malcolm Brogdon trade. I don't think the Boston Celtics regret this trade, but they actually had a pretty decent player there in Aaron Nesmith. As a Celtics fan, I can't say that. Pretty good data here. 7 of his last 10 games, he has cashed the over. He's cashed so far in 3 out of 4 games in this Knicks series. The only game he failed to cash was in Game 2 in New York. But even in the Milwaukee series, pretty consistent hit rate versus the Bucks as well. So far this season, a 58% hit rate for Nesmith. 48 out of 83 games this year he's cashed the over, averaging 15.93 points plus rebounds per game. But again, like the Andrew Nembhard bet, this is all about the head-to-head data. 9 of his last 10 games versus the Knicks, including all the games this year in this playoff series, he has cashed the over, averaging 19.4 points plus rebounds per game versus the Knicks. Including the 4 playoff games so far in this series, he's played the Knicks 7 times this season. He's cashed the over in 6 out of 7 games. Again, the only time he has not cashed this line versus New York, dating back to December 2022, is Game 2. In New York, he had 6 points and 1 rebound. But if you look at a lot of the Knicks players, that seems to be the trend. I mean, the Pacers players, like Game 2, a lot of these role players didn't have the best of games. But really solid spot here. Versus small forwards, the Knicks on the year, bottom 10 in points allowed and bottom half of the league. And rebounds allowed, of course, OG Anunoby is out. So he's, obviously one of the better defensive players who would probably help slow Nesmith down a little bit. The Knicks, obviously, we know their injury, the stuff going on with their injuries here. They're really weak. They're really tired. You saw that in the last couple games. They're very tired. I think players like the Pacers who have some depth, I think a player like Aaron Nesmith could have a pretty big game here versus the Knicks. So I like the spot here, over 14.5. This is a straight line. This is an alternate line. We're getting it from minus 125 on DraftKings. Not a bad straight-up bet. All right, guys, in the third and final leg of this parlay, we're going to the Knicks side of things now. Dante DiVincenzo over 20.5 points. This is an alternate line, getting it for minus 190 here on DraftKings. And you see here, so far, the number's not great. He had a horrible series versus Philly. But in the Pacers series so far, he had cashed it in 3 out of 4 times. The only game so far he didn't was in that Game 4 blowout, which you look at the minutes played for Dante. He played 32 minutes still, but obviously not a good game across the board for the Knicks. But previously, in the previous 3 games, the first 3 games of this series, I should say, DiVincenzo had some pretty big games for the Knicks. And look, it kind of makes sense. 4 of his last 7 times playing the Knicks dating back to all this year. All 7 times this season. Remember, this is his first year in New York, so this is all of his data as a member of the Knicks. In the 7 matchups versus the Pacers, a member of the New York Knicks, he's cashed it in 4 out of 7 times. He's averaging 23.86 points per game. You see he's had some pretty big scoring numbers versus the Pacers. And, a couple, like close miss there. He had 20 points there. But overall, really solid data for DiVincenzo. And the Pacers, look, defensively, we know how bad they've been. But versus small forwards in particular, bottom 3 in the NBA, gave up 23.5 points per game. He's going to play, I would say, upmost of 40 minutes. You see in the first few games of the series, it was 43 minutes across the board, almost 44 minutes in all those games. You look at the field goal attempts versus the Pacers, you see he's taking quite a few shots. He's averaging 19 field goal attempts per game versus the Pacers this season. So shot volume's there, minutes played is there, bad defense, all of it equates to a really solid prop here for DiVincenzo. All right, guys, so that is the first of 2 parlays. That parlay, if you put them all together, you get a parlay of plus 332 odds. Not bad for a nice little 3-leg parlay. All right, guys, we are now switching over to the second parlay of today's video. Comment 9 as we're about to hit the 9-minute mark in the video. Appreciate whoever is still here watching this far in. I always appreciate you guys who actually watch through the entire video. First leg of our second 3-leg parlay for today's video. We're going Anthony Edwards over 27.5 points. Again, this is now going to the Timberwolves-Nuggets game with a 10:30 p.m. tip-off. We're going Anthony Edwards over 27.5 points. We're getting this for minus 165 odds here on DraftKings. Unlike the most of the props I've shown you so far today, this one, the data is not fantastic because, of course, the lines are elevated. He's been playing so well in the playoffs. His minutes are high. So, of course, the line's going to be elevated. You see just a 46% hit rate on the year for Anthony Edwards. But his last 10 games, you see 5 of his last 10 games, he has cashed his over. He's averaging 28.4 points per game over his last 10 games. In this series so far, he's cashed it in 2 out of 4 games. He's had 2 big 40-point games in this series so far. You see he just barely missed the mark in Game 2. He had 27 points. The one game that was kind of a dud was Game 3. And you see that the Nuggets won that game by 27 points. So it was a blowout loss for the Timberwolves there. He did play 37 minutes in that game. But this is big. Obviously, series tied 2-2. Game 5 in Denver. Massive game. You got to expect the Ant's going to play in the ballpark of 40 minutes as long as this game isn't a massive blowout. He's going to play, even if he doesn't, you see they got blown out in Game 3 and he still played 37 minutes. He's going to play in the ballpark of 40 minutes. And, the Nuggets defensively, I just don't think they've been great defensively overall this season. You see versus shooting guards, they are top 5. I just think Ant is already putting himself in that top 5 player category. And those type of players, it doesn't really matter what your defense has, they can overcome it. The Timberwolves down low have had the best defense of any team down low. They have against centers and power forwards. They obviously Towns and Gobert. Gobert's the defensive player of the year. Great defense down low. Doesn't matter. Jokic has still been having a solid series overall, minus maybe one bad game in Game 2. Jokic still has his way with Minnesota. And so it doesn't really matter how good Denver's defense is. I think they can't keep up with Ant. 28 points in a do-or-die Game 5. Not necessarily do-or-die, but you know what I mean. Whoever wins this game takes control of the series, really, and makes Game 6 a potential series winner in Minnesota. I think Ant's going to ball out here, as these key players typically do. I love him. I love his game. I think 28 points for Ant is a pretty solid bet. And just to show you guys, I put a filter. This shows the games that he has played this year between 37 and 44 minutes, in that minute range of 37 to 44 minutes. He's played 36 games this season, including playoffs, in that 37 to 44 minute range. Excuse me. And you'll see here a 67% hit rate. 24 out of 36 games this year he has cashed that over, averaging 31.14 points per game in that data range of minutes played. All right, guys, the second leg of this three-leg parlay, we're going Nikola Jokic over 11.5 rebounds. We're getting this for minus 190 odds here on DraftKings. Excuse me, a little sore throat there. Over 11.5 rebounds, minus 190 odds. Now, Minnesota on the year, they have been top 5 in rebounds allowed to opposing centers, but Jokic has cashed this line in 8 of his last 10 games, including 2 out of 4 in this series so far, Games 2 and 3. He hit this over with flying colors. Games 1 and Game 4. He did not hit it in either of those games. Let's go ahead and narrow down the data here. This is the last 5 games. This includes, of course, all 4 games in the Timberwolves series, but also the final game of the Lakers-Nuggets series here. You see he's averaging 13 rebounds per game. Again, that is a little skewed because of the 20 rebound performance in Game 5 versus the Lakers. The key thing that I wanted to look at, though, was the rebound chances. And you see here so far, he's averaging 21.4 rebound chances per game over the last 5 games. Again, you do have the 30 rebound chances versus the Lakers in Game 5. But just looking at the Minnesota series, you see he's at a minimum of 15 rebound chances per game. In a couple of these games, 27 and 20. So there's been a lot of missed shots, a lot of rebound chances here for Jokic, especially you see the minutes played. Obviously, he's playing close to 40 minutes. That's not going to change tonight. Obviously, huge Game 5 in Denver. He needs 12 boards. Again, he's only cashed in 2 out of 4 so far, but look at the data. We start to go a little bit deeper into the data here. And the head-to-head isn't great. 6 of his last 16 games versus Minnesota, he's cashed the over, just a 38% hit rate, averaging 11.5. He's averaging just at 11 rebounds per game. You see a lot of close misses. He's averaging 11.5. So a lot of close. You see there's 4 games right off the top where he had 11 rebounds. You got a few 10 rebound games. It's not often that he has less than 10 rebounds versus team. Only 4 times dating back to January of last season has he finished with less than 10 rebounds. So obviously, you guys want to buy more points, you can go ahead and get this down, but obviously the higher up you go, the more the odds change. Overall, though, whoa. That is not the prop we wanted. Go back to rebounds here. There we go. We'll go back to the 11.5 rebound line, excuse me. Apologies for that. But you see so far this year, a 59% hit rate on this over. He's averaging 12.52 rebounds per game this season. That's 52 out of 88 games, including playoffs. He's cashed this over. And if we go ahead and put the timestamp here just to show the filter with minutes per game, he's going to play, I would say, at least 38. So we'll go between 38 and we'll do 42 because he hasn't really played anything more than that. So you see he's played 29 games this year in that range of 38 to 42 minutes per game. And you see he's hit it at a 66% hit rate, 19 out of 29 games, including playoffs. You see those are the 4 Minnesota Timberwolves games. The 4 Timberwolves games so far this series. And you see there, I'm a 13.48 rebound per game mark over those 29 games. So when he plays that many minutes, you see his average goes up. You see the hit rate goes up. He's obviously going to be playing in that range of minutes here. So overall, and you see the rebound chances. He's averaging 20 rebound chances per game in this data range. So the rebound chances are high. Of course, when you're playing more minutes, that's naturally going to happen. But you see, if you look at the data closely, only a couple low ones like February 14th, only 8 rebound chances versus the Kings, only 10 here versus the Spurs. Usually you're looking at this data range, it's usually between 13 and it goes as high as 30. All right, guys, in the third and final leg from this parlay, we're going Mike Conley over 5.5 assists. We are getting this from minus 175 odds here on DraftKings. Again, you could bet this one on FanDuel, honestly, because there's no combos. Again, I don't use FanDuel personally. I don't like using FanDuel. So I'm not a big fan of it. But there are no player combos in this parlay, so you could go ahead and bet this on FanDuel. There were a couple lines that had better odds on FanDuel, like this one, minus 145. We're going to get for minus 175 here on DraftKings. We see a lot of green. 8 of his last 10 games, he cashed the over, including all 4 games of this Timberwolves series so far. This Nuggets series so far, he's cashed the over, averaging 6.8 assists per game. Even go to his last 20 games, going back to the end of the regular season, 75% hit rate. On the year so far for Conley, a 60% hit rate, including playoffs. 50 out of 84 games this year, he's cashed the over, averaging 6 assists per game. And the head-to-head data, including all 4 games of this series, dating back to April of last year, a 69 nice percent hit rate on this over. He's averaging 6.46 assists per game versus the Nuggets dating back to last season. 9 out of 13 games he has cashed the over. And look at this season. They played a lot this year. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 8. So 8 times this year, including playoffs, he's faced off with Denver. He's cashed it in 6 out of 8 games this season. You see on March 19th, he just barely missed with 5 assists. And then on April 10th, the last time they played before the playoffs, just 2 assists in that one. But overall, pretty solid data. And you see Denver defensively, they are top 10 in assists allowed to opposing point guards. But Conley, again, so far this series, you see 10 assists, 6 assists, 6 assists, and 9 assists. And if we go down to the potential assists here versus Denver, he's averaging 9.4 potential assists per game versus the Nuggets this year. And you look at this series so far, 9, 9, 10, and 11. So the potential assists have been there for Conley. And I'm not going to do a filter for minutes played because it looks like his minutes, he's averaging 32 minutes per game versus the Nuggets. And you see so far in this series, 31, 31, 29, about 30, 34. So he's not playing like most of the other guys in the playoffs where he's playing like 40 minutes. Obviously, Conley is older, so we don't need to put a minute filter in there. But overall, a solid prop with a lot of green data there for the third and final leg of this parlay. All right, guys, so here we go. This is our recap. So the first 3-leg parlay, Aaron Nesmith over 14.5 points plus rebounds, Andrew Nembhard over 3.5 assists, and Dante DiVincenzo over 20.5 points. Again, that parlay is plus 332. So not too bad. And then this parlay, over Anthony Edwards over 27.5 points, Mike Conley over 5.5 assists, and Nikola Jokic over 11.5 rebounds. You parlay all 3 of those together, you get a parlay of plus 285 odds. So if both hit, again, you need 6 props to hit, but if both parlays hit, that's over plus 600. I mean, I guess you could just do a 6-leg parlay and see how that works out for you. But overall, pretty solid value for 2 3-leg parlays there. And then again, you click the link down below. The link for these picks will be down below. And it'll take you to this page here. You just click add to bet slip. And you don't have to bet all of these. It'll take you to the page you can X out whatever parlay you don't want or whatever picks you don't want to put. And you'll be good to go. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. Now, I told you in the beginning of the video, there's an announcement to be had today. And here we go. So we'll start off with the bad news before we get into the good news. Okay, the bad news is, well, it's bad, I guess, for the channel, not so much bad for me. I hinted at it yesterday, or I think I did. I am going on vacation tomorrow. It is the first vacation that I have taken in 10 months. So this is where the bad part comes in. This will be my last video until Monday. Now, I want to start off by saying shout out to Ev, because although he has taken like 9 vacations in the last 3 months, he's a warrior, man. And I'll be honest, Ev is better than me. Like he takes his travel equipment with him on vacation. He bangs the videos out. Whether the quality is the best in terms of the cameras and stuff like that doesn't matter. He bangs them out. He grinds. Like, this is why Ev puts the boss in Guy Boston Sports. Like, this is why he is the founder. He is the guy who started all this, who keeps it running, and he's incredible. I'm not going to be doing what he does. How do I put this? I haven't had a vacation in 10 months. I have been working 6 days a week, every week since August. I can count the number of days off I've had on my hand. 2 sick days, 2 holidays, and 1 I actually asked for a day off and had someone to cover for me. So I've been working a lot. I'm not going to say I'm burnt out, but I'm kind of close to burnt out. And so I'm only going Wednesday to Sunday. I'm taking the 4 days to recoup, to recharge the batteries, to relax. And so taking my travel equipment, I'm going on a golf trip with some buddies to Utah. We might also spend a couple nights in Vegas because we're only like an hour and a half outside of Vegas. So I might spend a couple nights in Vegas as well. The point being, we have a really packed agenda. We have a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be playing 32 rounds of golf a day. We're going to be going out a lot. Like, it's just, I'm in an Airbnb with 20 guys. Like, we're on all of my high school friends. We're all going on this golf trip. We've been planning it for almost a year now. And so, it's just going to be tough to take the travel equipment with me. I've been stressing about it for the last week. How am I going to do this? I only have one bag I'm taking with me because, I'm not trying to bring, for a 4-day trip, tons of luggage. So I was worried about how am I going to carry stuff? What am I going to bring? How am I going to do this? How am I going to set it up? I'm going to have people around. I'm going to have no privacy for the next 4 days. How am I going to get this done? And so ultimately I came to the decision that I think it's best if I just don't make any videos and just kind of take the chance to have a little bit of a break here and just recharge the batteries and not have to worry about making videos and all this stuff. I love doing it for you guys, and I actually am upset over the fact that I'm not going to do it. I know it's NBA playoffs. It's kind of a bad time to not go on a little break, but it's only a couple days. I mean, if you really think about it, I don't do videos on Sundays anyways, so you're missing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're missing 4 days of videos, which I know it sucks, but I just feel like it's the best thing. I just feel like the quality, I don't want to promise you guys videos and then they don't come out great or I'm not able to do them because of the circumstances of my vacation. Again, Ev's a warrior, man. That guy, I mean, there are a couple of videos when he's on vacation where he doesn't hung over. Like, it's crazy. The guy is a warrior. I'm going to strive to be more like him, but in this situation, I am not. So, apologies to everybody for letting you down in a sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to still do like a YouTube short every day to at least give you guys a parlay, if not multiple parlays like I've been doing here, so that you're still going to get some form of content from me. It's not like I'm going cold turkey and you're not going to see me till Monday. I will do like a YouTube short every day to give you guys some picks, but I'm not going to be doing these long form videos. It just doesn't fit in the schedule, and it's going to be too tough for me trying to fit it in, and I'm going to be stressing out about it. The whole point of this vacation is to not stress out and just relax. Crush beers, hit long drives, and just have a good time. So that's the bad news. The good news is that when I do come back, starting Monday, May 20th, and this is not just me saying it and not doing it, it's official. Monday, May 20th, the MLB player prop videos are coming back. I took a break. I talked about it a couple videos ago. My work schedule just got a little crazy. Working a lot of hours. I felt like when I was doing the MLB and NBA videos, they were getting half-assed. Like, I wasn't able to put all my effort into both. And so now, obviously, with the NBA schedule lightening up, I don't have, 10 games to go through. I only have 2 games a day. And obviously, coming up soon, it's only going to be 1 game a day as we head into the conference finals and NBA finals. So with that lightening up, with some stuff at work getting easier now, I will be doing the MLB player prop videos again starting on Monday. So that's the good news out of this. I'll be coming back recharged, ready to go back to work. And giving you guys more content. I have a couple other great videos planned for when I do come back. But yeah, that's my announcement. I don't want to I've already gone on like a 5-minute rant here, but thank you very much as always, guys, for watching today's video. Make sure hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Again, watch out for the YouTube shorts. I will be posting probably at least 1, if not 2 YouTube shorts a day, giving out parlays. So if you guys are looking for my picks, they will be out there, and I'll even post them like in a YouTube post just to point out like, hey guys, this is where you can find the picks. I'll put like the outlier link on the post with the YouTube short. So guys, but that is it for me today. Until Monday, I hope you guys have a good week. I'll be sharing some stuff from vacation, so you want to go ahead and maybe I'll post them on YouTube. If you want to follow me on Instagram at the Greek Freak with 2 Ks at the end, you can go ahead and do that. But guys, that is it. I'll see you guys all on Monday. Recharge, probably a little tanner, and ready to go. Have a good one, guys.